Welcome to the Don't Call Me Midlife podcast. Hey, good to see you again.
How
my
are
friend.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, it's so fun to talk again. So excited. I'm so excited about the topic today.
Yes. Aren't we all excited about menopause?
Yes. That is our topic.
Amazing.
I'm going to start by telling you I am still in New Hampshire taking care of my son at boarding school after his surgery, and I'm so excited to tell you what's in my cup. I know it's going to be a little thing, but it is they have in the house that we're renting, they have a K-cup machine, and I normally don't drink that coffee, but I bought this, I think it's a Vermont blend of like blueberry coffee. And the reason why I love this is because my husband, Alex, does not like flavored coffee. I do, and so this is like my little treat every morning. Well, I have like 3 cups, but that I'm having of my K-cup coffee. So I was super excited to tell you what is in my cup today.
Ooh, that sounds delicious. Do you have a cup of coffee for each kid?
What do you mean?
You said you have 3 cups of coffee. Like, do you have 3 cups?
Well, no, I drink. Yes. Oh, I was like, wait, do my kids drink coffee? No, they do not. No, I mean, yes, I just love coffee. I love the taste of it. I love flavored coffee. So I was super excited to make this.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll bring them home with me, although I don't have a Keurig. But tell me, what's in your cup today?
Oh, honey, let me tell you, I have a... Look, I know if you're listening, you can't see it, ladies, but it looks like green sludge. It's actually delicious. But I have a whole bunch of fiber in my cup, in my smoothie. lots and lots of fiber. Because one of them, well, this may be TMI, but, well, not really. I think, everything slows down in midlife when motility, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just upping my fiber, which, I think also helps with, maybe midlife middle. You got to watch what you eat. You got to watch your fiber. You got to eat more protein, cut back on sugar. So yeah, I got some perimenopausal
menopausal smoothie. That looks that looks interesting.
It does. It's so good.
I can see it.
You know why? Because it's like,
what's in there? Tell us what's in there. Tell us what's in there, because people are wanting all ladies are wanting to know what your recipe is. Tell us.
Okay, spinach, almond butter, and I can put not ingredients, but like measurements later. But it's spinach, almond butter. I have a date in there for sweetness and fiber. I don't know. I always butcher this word, chlorella. The green powder?
I don't even know what that is. Oh. Is that the word that looks chlorella? Like chlorine?
Yeah. Yes.
I don't even know what that is. It looks healthy.
Don't ask me what it is either, but it's like some sort of nutrients or something.
Okay. So that's goodness. Yeah.
Yes. Frozen blueberries, banana. I have a scoop of my protein powder. I have ice, almond milk. What else?
That's a lot of ingredients. You're so funny. When I make a smoothie, I think it's literally almond milk, protein powder, and maybe some almond butter. I never make really complicated smoothies.
Oh, I'm just trying to pack it all in. It's That's sweet. True. My daughter, my best friend's daughter, loves this. So when she comes, I make it for her. So yeah, and it's delicious.
That sounds good. Okay, so you're doing fiber there. We could talk about smoothies all day, but what we're talking about today is perimenopause and menopause, right? So are we excited about this topic, or are we not? I'm confused. We were so we really wanted to talk about this, but do we really, Nicole? Do we really?
You know what? I am owning perimenopause. I am. So I'm excited to talk about it. I like learning, and I have learned a lot about this. Am I excited going into it? No. But am I excited to talk about it? Yes, because I feel like there's so much around it, and so many stigmas. Let's break some of these stigmas. But you know what? Sometimes I just feel batshit crazy, not gonna lie. And I like to blame it on perimenopause.
Well, you know what? I love that, Nicole. We can blame a lot of things on perimenopause or postmenopause. I think that is a good excuse, especially with us having boys. There was one time when I was we were in Martha's Vineyard this summer, and I was sort of, I guess, overly emotional about where we were going for dinner for some reason. And my boys wanted to go somewhere and I wanted to go somewhere else, and we ended up at where they wanted to go. But I had to almost apologize because I was like, Mommy has a lot of things going on in her body.
Right.
So now it's like a family joke. If I'm acting a little batshit crazy, they will say Mommy has a lot of things going on in her body. So I think it's adjusting to that for sure.
Yeah. My kids ask me, are you on your period? Because they've gone to the...
Oh, God! No.
Yes, they watch the health thing and they learned about women's. So they're like, actually...
Oh my God. I love how your boys want to talk about all those things. If I even brought up the word period, they'd be like, please stop talking, Mom. Please stop talking.
I'm sure if I brought it up, they'd probably say, please stop talking. But since they brought it up, you're
rolling with it. Yeah. You're rolling with it. I'm just going to go with it.
Yes.
But you're going to go with it.
I too have a crazy story. It was Mother's Day. And I wanted to go to dinner, and we don't go out a lot, like to nice places. We'll keep it casual. And I was just really looking forward to it. I had gotten that cute pink blazer. It's actually the one that's on our cover. And I was like, rocking, some bootcut jeans and little heels. I'm like, we're going to go out. It's Mother's Day. I'm excited. And everybody was running late. And I knocked on one of my son's doors, and he kind of was like, I don't want to go out to dinner. And I was like, it's Mother's Day. It's my day. Yeah. I totally had that is not me at all whatsoever, but I was like, oh my God, I am sorry, boys. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to Mommy. But yeah.
Where did Mommy go? I often feel like that. When I have those moments, it's like I'm literally looking down on myself and thinking, I am not being totally myself. Someone is taking over my body, legitly. And it's a really weird feeling if you have not experienced that. I would say, I hope not everyone has experienced that, but more than likely you probably will. Yeah. And that's okay.
Yeah.
We apologize and we move on,
Exactly.
And then our kids are like, I'm never getting married to a woman like that. It's just too much for me. It's like too high maintenance for me, I think.
Yes, I see.
So we got to cover it a little bit.
Yes, that's so funny.
So this issue of perimenopause is interesting. I actually Googled it because we hear this all the time. And just sort of the research or the actuality, whatever if that's a word, of what menopause is. And I've had this debate with my mother. I'm like, Mom, menopause is one day. And she's like, no, it's not. So I actually had to Google it, Nicole, because I was really curious. And what I found is menopause is one day, right? So there's perimenopause and there's postmenopause.
Yes.
So it's sort of interesting, I think, to know that going into it, right? You're going to have pre-symptoms before you lose your period. Menopause is like 1 year from your last period.
Yes.
Which I don't even know how I'm going to know that because I have an IUD. But I'll have to figure that out.
Well, not to talk about my sister-in-law's body. Sorry, Chris. She didn't even know she was in menopause, had gone through it.
What?
Yeah. She's like, just one day I realized, oh my gosh, it's been so long since I had a period. And she's like, oh, I guess I'm in menopause. So
that's going to be me. Yeah. That's going to be me when I'm 55, because now IUDs can last 8 years. They just got approved. So yeah, that's good.
Well, yes, that is good.
That is. So, I'll tell you a little story that I really haven't told a lot of people about when I think I realized that my body or my mind was shifting a little bit. I felt like I was entering a different stage. And we've talked about this before, but this was something where I was like, wow, I really need to get a hold of this. And this is exactly what perimenopause is, right? It's like this hormone imbalance. In addition to the situation that happened, that was pretty mild, what happened in Martha's Vineyard this summer. But I was almost I did tell one of my best friends this story, and I was a little bit embarrassed to tell her. But after I told her, and you'll hear it, she said, oh my God, Alix, thank you for telling me that. Because I have experienced that same thing. And that's that relief that we've talked about, that vulnerability.
Yeah.
Where
I'm so excited to hear your
we're
story.
not all just shit crazy, right? So we were in Paris for our spring break, and we were getting off the train because we took it from London
with your family.
And my husband, with my family. So I have the 3 boys. We have lots of luggage because we're like traveling. And my husband gets off the train earlier than me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he just did that and left me with the boys. And I mean, literally, Nicole, he was standing outside the train. It's not like he went and walked and had a cup of coffee. And I get off the train, and I am so fired up.
Relating to you. Okay.
I'm so fired up. Like I am like, I'm like, my face is red and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like trying to control myself. I'm like talking to myself, Alex, like, okay, it's okay. It's okay. And I'm like, oh my God. So we get out of the train station and I start just like telling him how mad I was that he didn't wait for us. And it gets worse. Like the Paris police had to come over. I guess I was talking not in very polite Paris way. I wasn't saying swears or anything. Yeah. I was just firmly talking. But
they don't do that in
very
Paris?
Quiet. No, I mean they do have a lot of emotions, I guess. But the Paris police are around. My boys at this point walk away from me, and I'm like, I'm looking up at myself. It was one of those moments where I was like, Alex, like get a hold of yourself. What are you getting so upset about? Mm-hmm. It was very humbling, very embarrassing, and that was the point where I literally called my functional doctor when we got back from that vacation and was like, I need some sort of natural supplements to help me, Yeah. And since then, it has not happened, thank goodness. And again, I just had to tell my kids, like, I got a lot going on in my body. But I think that was a moment when I realized there was a lot in my body and taking control of this time, right?
Yeah, it's like that built up, pent up, and it just spills out, right? Like you just... Yeah. Like you almost have no control over it. And all you can do is apologize, get on some, natural...
Get on some supplements. If you have been, having that same experience, if you can relate to that, the supplements have helped me 100%. 100%. Yeah. I don't, when we've talked about like flying off the handle, like and it's never like a big thing, Nicole, right? It's never like a monumental situation. Right. It's always something so...
It's not like he walked off the train with another woman. He just was probably close to the door and walked off and was waiting for you guys to follow suit. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Yes. Have you experienced anything like that? Or was there something where you realized, okay, this is a different stage of my life. Maybe I'm entering this perimenopause or whatever stage.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely had moments where I've just gone off on jury like that. But I think mine was a little bit more like health issue related. So yeah, I think I was like 43 and I was just noticing like these symptoms with my body, unexplained weight gain, fatigue, brain fog, like to a whole nother level. Like have you ever been so tired that like your eyes, like you have to sleep for like 20 minutes or you literally can't function? Like, have you ever been so tired like that?
No, okay. But I know you do take like cat naps, which I'm like, you inspire me to do that. I do not do that.
I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's around that time, and it is like the fatigue that you get with Hashimoto's. I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like first trimester. Like when you're pregnant,
I do know what that feels like. Yeah,
where you're just like so tired. But I was also having like crazy joint pain and all this stuff, and I thought, okay, well, I'm just getting older. There was an explanation for it, but it's also coming at a time when these changes happen in your body. And then also, I think, okay, so that happened, and then a year later, I used to get ovarian cysts. And they would just pop. But this one, it was the size of a grapefruit. And one day I just, I was like, I was having sharp pain. And I went to get out of bed. I'm like, I can't stand up straight,
oh my gosh.
Excuse me. And then, Jerry, he's a general surgeon. He's like, you should go get checked out. This is not normal. Because it hurt to touch. He's like, it's either your appendix or you have a cyst. And so everybody was kind of, everything was like rushed. And they're like, oh, you have a cyst the size, it was like 10 centimeters, the size of a grapefruit, and the first thing you think of is cancer.
Yeah.
It was not. It was just a fluid-filled cyst, but they had to remove my right ovary, which changes hormones and all this. So I was a little bit maybe forced into having more perimenopausal symptoms. So I definitely feel better. But
Good.
you know, that doesn't mean I'm going to cut my hair like into a pixie because I'm going into
You're not like full post-menopausal.
No.
Well, I'm sorry you had to go through that, but that is something, unfortunately, that is, I feel like, more common than not, right?
Yes. And then all these like people were reaching out to me like, this happened to me too. And then my sister, when she was 28, she had like precancerous cells, so she had to have a total hysterectomy. So she went into early menopause, and she talked about like things that were happening with her. I mean, you're just like instantly in it. So I definitely like feel all these symptoms. But I have to say, I think there's like 34 plus symptoms with perimenopause, you know. I don't have every single one of them, but definitely relate to.
I hope not.
No, I definitely relate to a lot of them. But you know, things are happening a little bit at a faster pace. Like I know
at a faster pace. Yeah. Well, thinking about also like when you say the word perimenopause, right? I will tell people that you're in perimenopause, right? Because it's like 5 to 10 years before postmenopause. People are like, no, I'm not.
Yes.
You know, what the stigma against, you know, it's like our 40s are all about perimenopause, right? We're getting there, ladies. Like, we're not avoiding this. Like, we are humans. Like, this is going to happen whether you want it or not. So the stigma around, I used to feel like the stigma around the word menopause. I didn't even know the word perimenopause. And I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but is like it's again that like old person thing. Like I'm gonna be like, you know, gray hair and using a walker,
right?
And
all
I mean,
shrivelly and pruny, with a pixie like, perm cut, you know, like
right. Like one of my girlfriends is in menopause, and she is like 55, but she looks amazing.
Yeah.
And again, I went back to that stigma of like, oh my gosh, we should be so much older than we should be. I don't know. Does that make sense? Like,
I think so. Well, I mean, I think also too, we grew up in an era where, you know, like Father of the Bride. Do you remember that movie? Do you remember how old?
I love that.
Yeah. But do you remember how old they look? They're our age. Like Steve Martin probably had gray hair when he was like a toddler. I don't know. But they just, you know, I don't see myself the way I saw others. Am I making sense? I don't.
You're totally making sense, and I think one of those things where, you know, it's like as soon as you hit menopause, it's like, okay, our moms like cut their hair, right?
Yes.
It was like, why are you all of a sudden wearing a pixie and you shouldn't wear a pixie? Like, you know, it's those sort of stigma about menopause that is just like, we don't need to do that, right? I'm going to color my hair until I don't have to.
Right. And they can.
I'm not like a gray lover. You know, I really respect, honestly, Nicole, some of those people that just let their gray go, right?
Yes.
And my mom had premature gray at 14. That is not going to be me.
Yeah.
Like, I do not want to do that.
Yeah.
You got to respect that, right?
Yeah. There are some beautiful gray foxes out there. And I'm talking about women. I don't know. What's the female?
I'm like, are you talking about men? No. Like a George Clooney?
No, like, I don't know how to call like a gray haired woman. Like men, they're beautiful, gray foxes.
Beautiful.
Yes, no, but I'm saying like a little, like a nickname type thing. But yes, yes, you don't have to go short in perm. But there is some maintenance with it. You know, we talk about hair. Yes.
Yes, so much.
Lots of maintenance, lots of lotion. I'm really dry now. Like hands.
You also live in Colorado.
This is true. It's just like, what's Colorado and what's perimenopause? I don't know. But like,
it's a mix.
Yes. But I always like go back to shows like when I was growing up. But I just remember like the lotion by the nightstand, and the mom's always like putting lotion on her hands and on her feet before bed. And that is me. I have, you know, lots of lots of hydration going on here, and I do get Botox. I know it's not for everybody, but I do. So there's that.
Okay,
and
so do I.
and the hair, yeah, and the hair, and I don't know. There's just seems like a lot more, like making sure I have more fiber, and the doctor's appointments. Like there's just more. You know, you gotta get your mammograms and colonoscopies.
It's like, yeah, we have to like think a lot more
long-term,
honestly about ourselves, right? And long term. I think we have to be organized in terms of the doctors. I mean, you know, I just went to the doctors and, you know, they're like, you need to come back in 6 months. I'm like, 6 months? I don't have time for that. And I think that's a generational thing also I was thinking about, because I don't feel like, I know my mom like doesn't like to go to the doctors. I don't like to go, but I feel like our generation like makes it a priority, right? Like I want to know what's going on, and there's resources, and just like making sure we keep up with those doctors is hard, but we got to do it, right?
Yeah. I just went yesterday for tennis elbow. You know what she told me? she's like, it's going to happen to all of us. She's like, some younger. She's like, but it does happen to most of us. I'm like, we all get tennis elbow? Like, come on, what's next? You know, it's just like the tendon's not working right. And I don't know, but I'm just like,
just things not working. You know what I think during this stage, what I like to do, well, one thing that bothers me a lot, and I know we've talked about this, is the neck thing, right?
Oh,
like we have to call out
gobble
the neck
gobble
thing, whatever we're gonna call. Yeah, my mom says gobble gobble. Yeah. We've called it the turkey neck. Like it's that collagen. It's just like I you know, I'm looking at pictures. I'm not looking at my whole body. What I do now is like focusing literally on my neck.
Yeah, I'm in my mock turtleneck era. I think we should make some merch that says I'm in my turtleneck era.
Welcome to the mock turtleneck era. Oh my gosh. Yes. And I don't even like mock necks, but I'm like, yes, we have to start wearing those. Because it's just, again, are we going to embrace it? Are we going to get that, you know, that thing that tightens your neck? Are we going to drink more collagen?
Yeah.
I mean, it is so much maintenance. Okay.
Listen.
You should do a capsule on mock necks. Mock turtlenecks.
Yes.
Mock necks.
Yes.
You're going to do that. Nicole's going to put out a capsule just on the turkey neck. What to wear for the turkey neck. I love that.
Yes. Over Thanksgiving. I know it doesn't bother everybody. You know, listen, if you can embrace it, I'm very jealous, but I can't embrace my neck and my chin area. I can embrace maybe some gray hair. What can I embrace? I don't know.
Like, whoa, wait. I was like, what are we embracing? I think it's not about embracing it. I think it's like, it is about embracing it, but it's like, what parts do you want to embrace? Or listening to your body and deciding, okay, this is happening whether I want it to or not. So what am I going to do about it almost? You know, there are people that are like, I'm just going to let myself have the wrinkles or let myself have the gray hair. You know, and that's great. Like, own what parts you want of it and don't own what you don't want, because there's so many resources now. If you want to change it, if you want to color your hair, if you want to do that, like, no judgment.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to be your best self, like, definitely do that. So what are some of the benefits of perimenopause and postmenopause, do we think? What do you, I mean, we have to end on a good note. Like, what are some of the benefits?
Yes.
For sure.
Well, no periods.
No periods. So that means we're not getting pregnant.
Yes.
That's you know,
unless you want to.
Life, I did. Unless you want to. I mean, I did want 4 kids, but that ship has sailed, right? So safe sex, you know, is a good thing.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I mean,
no PMS.
No PMS, no symptoms. I mean, I've never had really bad symptoms. Have you?
I get bad cramps and I do get migraines. Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah.
But I get like, I don't know. My husband sees the pattern in me. He's like, "Oh, you're going to have your period in 2 days." I'm like, "What?" And sure enough,
like tracking it on his app.
No. I just have like a constellation of symptoms that reappear every month. You think I would know it about myself now, but I think maybe one of them is he's like, "You just get a little distant." Like, I think I just kind of like,
okay.
Like, I don't want to be, like, I don't want to go batshit crazy on you. I'm just going to step away and just try to relax myself.
Right. Like when we were younger, we were like tracking our period for like getting pregnant now.
Yes.
Now we're tracking our period for symptoms of like not being crazy person, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Or like, am I having
2
a period?
Weeks before.
Yeah. Am I even having a period? Am I in menopause? Like, is this menopause? Like, yeah. So lots to learn about this.
There are some benefits too of like, you know, again, we are in the mock turtleneck era, but we're in this area of like owning our health,
yes.
right? Being responsible for our health. Like it's our responsibility to listen to our body, yes. Right? Because it is going to change. And I that's what I find is one of the benefits is just listening to yourself a little bit more.
Yeah.
And, you know,
let's age and be healthy.
Totally. Yeah. And add some more to your budget for maintenance, I guess. Like that's like a non-negotiable.
Yeah. So, is that your unsolicited advice?
What's my unsolicited advice? Yeah, you know what? I think thinking about my unsolicited advice is, you know, take back that power of this. We don't have to be these like old stigma menopausal ladies. Like, own what you want to and change what you want to, honestly. Like, you know, no shame, no nothing. And my other advice, sorry, I'm doing two, is also
it's your show.
Be honest. It's your show. Be honest with your girlfriends, yes. Right? Because I felt like something was really weird with me with this whole thing when I'm like freaking out about my husband not getting off the train. But that relief that I felt when my friend Kelly was like, oh my God, I can't believe you told me that. I love you. And I had the same situation. So talking about those things with your friends, I think, and opening up that conversation box
yes.
of being crazy together, I think it's important. So those are two of my unsolicited advice. Yes. What's your unsolicited advice?
My unsolicited advice is don't get that perm, please. Don't cut your hair. Don't chop it and get the perm, you know, just because you don't have a period.
Like, don't just drastically change your hairstyle, right? I mean,
you know, like you own it. Like, just find what makes you feel sexy, not what fits a mold.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a new sexy. We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Like, find your new sexy because it'll be different than before.
Yeah.
But it's like a fun opportunity to find new things that make you feel sexy for yourself, maybe for your husband, or, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yes.
Ooh, I like that. I didn't even know you were going to say that.
I didn't know I was going to say it either. It just kind of came out.
Go you.
All right, Alix. I love you. Love chatting with you.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see you in that episode.
Okay, bye.